Hi, I'm Yash. I'm the SRC President of Macintyre High School. Welcome to the Week 5 Virtual Assembly. Today's assembly will begin with the national anthem from the Aussie Youth Choir featuring fellow student Brendan Morley, who will also welcome us to country.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth of toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, of beauty rich and rare. In this
I would like to begin by acknowledging the Kamilaroi people, traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I also extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today.
Thank you, Brendan, for your acknowledgement of country, and congratulations on your performance in the Aussie Youth Choir. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our third virtual assembly, the first one since our return full-time face-to-face learning on Monday of this week. It has proven to be a smooth return to school, and I thank everyone for their cooperation. I know many students are very happy to be back at school in person with their friends and experiencing the routines of the school day, and I know the teachers are pleased to get back to a more normal routine as well, and to be able to catch up with their students in person. We have missed the opportunity to talk together, work together, learn together. Learning from home, whether it be online or via the hard copy packages, has its place, but it's not quite the same as being here in person. It would be easy to assume that things are back to normal now that full-time face-to-face learning has recommenced. But things are not completely back to normal. The virus is still out there, and we must be very careful to make sure that we do all we can to minimise the chances of it affecting our school, our friends, our teachers, our family and our community. It is vital that we respect the restrictions that are still in place by the New South Wales health authorities and the New South Wales government. Please make sure that we all observe good, positive hygiene. Wash and dry your hands with soap and water and the paper towels provided. Use the hand sanitizer available in each of the classrooms and the hard surface wipes for computer keyboards, desks and other hard surfaces. We want you to be able to have fun and be active during recess and lunch, but don't get involved in games that involve physical contact. Respect the fact that adult visitors to our school need to be kept to a minimum at present, so parents should only come inside school gates to the office if it is really needed. And some events that we would usually do that involve adults from outside the school, such as scripture, will not be permitted at present. It is also critical that we understand that teachers, as adults, need to maintain physical distancing. So they are expected to keep a bit of a distance away from other people, and we will need to avoid some of the normal practices like shaking hands when we greet each other or to congratulate someone. If all goes well, hopefully some of the restrictions will be lifted in the not too distant future. But I emphasise the timing of this will be determined by the New South Wales Government based on their health advice. We had a number of students interviewed for state awards in the vocational education space. I'm pleased to announce that 11 of our students have now been successful in making the regional finals, which really is quite exceptional. Congratulations to each and everyone involved. Thank you to Mrs Snaith, Mr Ryan and all the vet teachers for their dedication to our vocational education programs. Tuesday of this week was National Sorry Day. On this day we remember and acknowledge the mistreatment of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who were forcibly removed from their families and communities, which we now know as the Stolen Generations. We acknowledge the strength of Stolen Generation survivors and reflect on how we can all play a part in the healing process for our nation. While this date carries great significance for the Stolen Generations and other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, it is also rightfully commemorated by all Australians right around the country. Yesterday was the start of National Reconciliation Week. This is a time for all Australians to learn about our shared histories, cultures and achievements, and to explore how each of us can contribute to achieving reconciliation in Australia. The dates remain the same each year, the 27th of May to the 3rd of June. These dates commemorate two significant milestones in reconciliation journey, the successful 1967 referendum and the High Court Mabo decision, respectively. Reconciliation must live in the hearts and minds and actions of all Australians as we move forward, creating a nation strengthened by respectful relationships between the wider Australian community and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. This year we celebrate and we live the theme, In This Together. Finally, I'm delighted once again that we have so many students who are receiving awards today. It is great that our year advisors will get to present the awards in person. Well done to everyone. Enjoy the rest of the term. Thank you.
The theme for National Reconciliation Week 2020, In This Together, is now resonating in ways that could not have been foreseen when it was announced last year. But it reminds us, whether in a crisis or in reconciliation, we are in this together. Reconciliation is a journey for all Australians, as individuals, families, communities, organisations, and importantly, as a nation. At the heart of this journey are relationships between the broader Australian community and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We all have a role to play when it comes to reconciliation, and in playing our part, we collectively build relationships and communities that value Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, histories, culture, and futures.
During the COVID Learn From Home time, the ag plot has continued to operate with livestock and crops, requiring ongoing attention. Mrs. Snaith will give us a report on what's been happening.
Okay, here's Peppa Pig. She's being a bit of a nuisance down the ag plot. It's been a bit of an interesting time during the COVID period with no students down here. So we'll go for a bit of a walk in a minute and show you what's happening around our school blocks. How do you find being back at school, kids?
Much better. It is better because I do my work. Yeah.
And what have you noticed happen with our little trio of potties?
They've grown about 20 kilos.
Yeah. Look at Peppa. She used to fit in one hand. Okay, here we are down at the school farm, and here's the vegetable garden plots that the Year 8 kids have been growing with Mr. Grady, and they've got some great produce in there, some lettuce and carrots and cauliflower and peas. And in the background there is the Year 11-12 trial for oats density that they need to do for their mandatory studies. We're in the process of ploughing up the paddocks to get rid of the summer millet and putting in some lucerne, and we've also got some winter oats in, and we'll take you for a little look and have a look at that in a minute. This is our paddock over at Maclean, where we've got some oats in. We've got the weaners, you might be able to see them, they're lying down behind the cattle yards. They're trying to make their way through this oats. All the other cattle are up at the wind farm, and we'll actually be bringing a handful of those back in the next couple of weeks to start an AI program with the Cert 3 agriculture students in Year 12, so they can learn how to make those sorts of decisions and be involved in the hands-on part of artificial breeding. During the COVID period, we've had to get the paddocks finished being sown. The students had been ploughing them up until we had to go into the Learn From Home mode. We did have some students come in and continue to improve their tractor driving skills. This is our block at Brissett Street, where we've put in a pasture mix with some lucerne, and after the 40 mils of rain we've just had today, that'll come along beautifully. In the background you can see a paddock we're getting ready to put in some winter barley, and we'll hope to make some small bales of hay off that. Go on, you're late to class. Get over there.
Thank you, Mrs. Snaith. The New South Wales State Training Awards are conducted annually to recognise outstanding achievements in vocational education and training sector. This year, Macintyre High has 5 finalists. In the school-based apprentice and training category, Millie Sutherland, Corrine Robinson, Sam Lavender, Bo White and Will McLaughlin. Vet in Schools category, Rose Duncan, Jada Damon, Tim Beattie, Liam Beattie, Riley Sandrill and Seb Blair. An awards ceremony will be held online on the 26th of June and the winner goes to represent our region at state in September in Sydney. Tim, Millie and Jada were interviewed about their school-based training and we'll be hearing from them now.
Hello, yep, Macintyre is really happy to have quite a lot of our students participating in the State Training Awards this year. We have 6 or 7 students in the Vet in Schools category, ranging from the frameworks, information digital technology and construction and primary industries. And we also have 5 students representing the school-based apprentices and trainees category. We actually have a lot more trainees at our school than that, but we ended up having 5 actually go into the awards, and we wish them all very much luck. They'll find out the 25th of June. We've got a online awards ceremony. We're not quite sure what that will look like yet, but I guess we'll find out. Righto, Tim, so tell us a bit about what vet courses you do at Macintyre High.
Well, I do a Cert 2 in construction and then also primary industries. I started that in Year 9 with a Cert 1 and continued to Year 10 with a Cert 1 and then started Cert 2 in Year 11 and then my Cert 3 in Year 12.
Okay, so what sort of skills have you gained from doing these vet courses?
I guess just practical knowledge about how to do things on a farm, I guess, like driving a tractor, fencing, sheep work, cattle work, just a lot of practical jobs and all that. And then with building, just found how to build tiling and building a house and just framework and a lot of stuff like that.
And what sort of things do you think it might, like doing the awards category, the Vet in Schools awards category, how do you think that might help you in the future?
Well, I guess it showed me what I've sort of accomplished over the last few years, like what I've actually done, all the certifications I've got, like first aid, chemical course, all those things that I need for later in life, I guess. And then also it'll just help me on my resume, I guess, if I try to go for a scholarship or something with uni or just a resume for a job, a building or something like that, in the trade industry.
Good on you. Thanks, Tim, and all the best with your finalist category.
Cheers.
Okay, Millie, tell us a bit about your school-based traineeship. What are you doing and why?
Okay, I'm doing my Cert 3 in agriculture as a school-based traineeship. I work on a Wagyu stud, which is a cattle stud, a local one just down the road from where I live. We drive tractors and we've been doing some fencing lately, and we weigh cattle, and I've been doing lots of record keeping for the breed, and yeah.
Okay, Millie, so how do you find you manage this with going to school and keeping up with all the other work you need to do?
At first I found it a bit hard to manage, but then when I got all my act together and I started organising my week and not wasting time, it was quite easy to deal with, but I just got to make sure that I stay on top of my work and get things done before they're needed in.
Okay, thanks, Millie. Millie's a finalist for the school-based trainees category in the State Training Awards, so we wish Millie all the best.
Thanks.
I'm here today with Jada, who's undertaking a vet IT course with me and has been nominated for the State Training Awards. And Jada, tell me a little bit about the vet course you're doing.
Okay, so it's called Information and Computer Technology, and we learn a bunch of different things about computers. Like at the start of the course we learned how to operate a Word document correctly. There's heaps of things about Word documents that you actually don't know. And then we learnt onwards to make a website online, and this is mine here. And then obviously throughout the course we learn more and more about safety within the workplace and all that sort of stuff.
Very good. And tell me a little bit about how the VET course has helped you both in school but more out of school.
Okay, so in school it's helped me with all my assignments because when you do your assignments on Word, you can figure out stuff easier. And then also out of school, I've become the family help in my family now. And then so you do a week of work experience each year if you do the course for 2 years. And I did mine last year in year 11 at Telstra, and I actually attained a permanent position at Telstra at the moment. And so yeah, I have an after school job because of this course.
Excellent. And where do you see yourself going with the course in the future after you leave school?
Well, I want to complete it. So if you do the course at school for 2 years, you actually get a certificate of attainment towards Cert 3. And if you wanted to get your certificate 3, you'd have to do TAFE for another year outside of school. So I'm going to continue to do that to make sure that I do get my certificate, and then I can put it on my resume.
Excellent. Thanks, Jada.
Congratulations to all the finalists, and we wish them well at the awards ceremony. Holly Pecune will introduce the musical item for today.
So we're about to perform Bellyache by Billie Eilish. This sort of ensemble group performance is something that a lot of us would have liked to have done in our music HSC, but due to COVID-19 restrictions, we won't be able to. So we just thought we'd share this with you today instead.
Sitting all alone, mouth full of gum.
Thank you for a great performance, Holly, Miranda, Mia and Beth. This now concludes our virtual assembly. Thank you to all involved in making the assembly today.